Hello friends, in this video I'll explain you the poem Antony's Speech taken from Unit 7 Part B of the 9th Standard English textbook SSC Board Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. Firstly, let us read the flashback of this poem. This speech is an extract. Extract means it is derived from, it is taken from the play Julius Caesar written by William Shakespeare. This poem is taken from the play called Julius Caesar, which was written by William Shakespeare. Julius Caesar was a Roman emperor with great political power. He was a powerful ruler. He was killed in a conspiracy led by Brutus. Conspiracy means a cunning plan, a wicked plan that was set by Brutus. That is, Julius Caesar was killed in a plan that was set by Brutus. Antony, a great friend of Julius Caesar, gave a rousing speech to the public on this occasion, keeping the dead body before the public. That you can see that in the picture here. You see the dead body. This dead body is the dead body of Julius Caesar, and the person stretching the hand is Antony, and those are the people around. And keeping the dead body in front of all the people, he gave a rousing speech, an awakening speech to the people. So this entire poem we are going to look at the speech given by Antony to awaken the people. Right? He begins his speech by saying, "Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend your ears." Lend your ears means give me your ears. Give me your ears doesn't literally mean give me your ears. It means listen to me. Here I'll read line by line and explain it to you. "Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him." He says, my friend, Julius Caesar is dead anyhow. I have not come here to praise him. I have come here to bury the dead body of my friend Julius Caesar. The evil that men do lives after them. Whatever evil, whatever wrong a person does lives after he dies. That is, people remember the mistakes that the people commit even after they die. The good is oft interred with their bones. Generally, whatever good a person does is very quickly forgotten by the people. That is, as in how the bones decay after a person is buried, the same way whatever goodness he has done is also forgotten very quickly, whereas whatever mistakes he has done is always remembered by the people. And then what does he say? So let it be with Caesar, as it happens with the other people, that their goodness is forgotten and their evil is remembered. Let that happen to Caesar also. The noble Brutus hath told you Caesar was ambitious. Though you all know this noble Brutus, a great man called Brutus, what did he say? He has told you that Caesar was ambitious. Ambitious means who is very greedy, who wants to accomplish more and more, who wants to go ahead and ahead, who was much about the fortunes, much about capturing the kingdoms. That was what Brutus tells you. Brutus told you that Julius was ambitious. Yeah, and he says noble Brutus. Here actually Brutus had made a plan and killed Julius. Is he honorable here? Here the noble Brutus, he says, is he noble? Noble means a kind-hearted, a good-hearted person is called a noble person. Here Antony calls Brutus a noble person. Here we see that Brutus had killed Julius in a very wicked plan, in a conspiracy. Is Brutus a noble man here? Why does Antony call him noble here? The noble Brutus hath told you Caesar was ambitious. Now, this Brutus has told that Caesar was ambitious. Ambitious means who is very greedy, who wants to capture more and more lands, who wants to take more and more treasures. So, here Brutus says that Caesar was ambitious, and here Antony says that Brutus is noble. Actually, Brutus is a very wicked man. He is a very cunning man. He is a cruel man who has killed Julius, right? Why does he call him noble? This is called as irony. Irony means you say something and you mean the opposite of it. That is what an irony means. If it were so, it was a grievous fault, and grievously had Caesar answered it. So he says that, Brutus says that Caesar was ambitious. If it were so, if it was true, it was a grievous fault. It is a fault which has to be grieved. And grievously had Caesar answered it. Now you see how Caesar has answered it, how he has proved to the world that he is not ambitious. If it were so, it was a grievous fault, and grievously hath Caesar answered it. Here under leave of Brutus and the rest, for Brutus is an honorable man, so are they all honorable men, come I to speak in Caesar's funeral. So he says, not only is Brutus an honorable man, all the people who are with him, who were with him, along with him to kill Julius, all of them were all honorable men. Is he actually telling that they are all honorable? So he says that along with Brutus, there are many honorable people out there who allowed Caesar to be killed. So are they all honorable men, come I to speak in Caesar's funeral. He was my friend, faithful and just to me. But Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. But here Brutus says that he was ambitious, and you all know that Brutus is an honorable man. He hath brought many captives home. Did this in Caesar seem ambitious? He says that, many a times he has brought the captives home. I already told you in Joan of Arc. Captives means when someone loses in a war, what happens is the winning army takes these losing soldiers and they keep them as prisoners. Those people or those soldiers are called as captives, and these captives are tortured by the enemy army. Okay, this is what captives means. Here what he had brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransoms did the general coffers fill. That is, when many of our soldiers were taken as captives, what did Caesar do? He went and paid money. He gave the ransom. Ransom means when someone is kidnapped, the person who has kidnapped demands some money. That is called the ransom. So here he says that whose ransom did the general coffers fill? Whatever the enemy army demanded, that much money Julius Caesar had given and brought the captives safe home. Right? Whose ransom did the general coffers fill? Did this in Caesar seem ambitious? If Caesar had been ambitious, would he ever give money and bring the soldiers home? He should be more bothered about the money, isn't it? To get back the soldiers, he has to pay the money. That is an expenditure for him. So he could have ignored it. But he never did it because he was such a compassionate king. He was such a kind-hearted person. He was not at all ambitious. That is why he brought back the soldiers, giving them money. And now Brutus comes and says that he was ambitious. And how could you all people believe it? Could you not for 1 second think of what Julius had done for us? That's what Antony is telling. He is telling, you need not do me any favor. Just remember the goodness of my friend. That is sufficient for me. And then, when the poor hath cried, Caesar hath wept. That is, when the poor people came to the king, Julius Caesar. Caesar means the king. When the people came and told about their worries and they cried in front of Julius, what did he do? He wept with him. Wept in the sense, he cried with them, right? Weeping means crying without any sound. That is called weeping. Generally, when a person weeps is when he or she loses their loved ones, then they weep. Yeah. Here, generally we see when we laugh, the whole world laughs with us. When we cry, no one cries with us except our best friend or our blood relation, right? Here, the people are coming and telling about their worries to Caesar, and what Caesar doing? He is weeping with them. That is, it takes take so much to cry with the people. That means he was such connected to the people. He was such close to the people. He was such concerned about the people. He was so compassionate that he could not stop his tears. That much compassionate a king Julius was. When the poor have cried, Caesar hath wept. Ambition should have been made of sterner stuff. If at all my Julius was ambitious, he should have been stern. He should have been stiff-necked. He should have ignored the poor people, because if he cries along with them, he has to give some money to them. He cannot send them empty-handed. Again, it is an expenditure. So if he had been much of money-minded, he could have ignored them. He would have just said, "Oh, is it? It's such a pitiable thing. Okay, I will do something," and he could have sent them away. But he wasn't so. He sat beside them and he wept with them. That means he was not bothered about money. But when Brutus told that he was ambitious, all of you people believed. Could you not give a second thought and think about the goodness of my friend? Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. You all know he is such an honorable man. You all did see that in the Lupercal I thrice presented him a kingly crown, which he did thrice refuse. Was his ambition? So he says on the festival day, on the Lupercal festival day, thrice I gave him the crown. And what did he do? He gave it back. He refused to take it. If at all he were ambitious, he should have taken the crown, because if someone is gifting the king, maybe the crown is completely studded with precious gems and stones. And if Julius was ambitious, he could have thought, this crown is good. I can take this and keep it as a collection, and this would be an asset in my treasure. This will add up to my treasure. But what did Julius do? He was not at all money-minded. He did not have the idea of collecting things or gathering money. So what he did, he just gave away. He just refused to take the crown. You all saw it. It was not once, it was not twice, it was thrice that I gave. That means he had no intention of gathering any money at all. Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and sure, he is an honorable man. So he says, but you are great, Brutus, you know. He says that my Caesar was ambitious, and you know Brutus is an honorable man. But actually here we see that Antony is going on insisting that Brutus was honorable. That means how much dishonorable a man Brutus was, how much cunning he was, how much he had the conspiracy, cunningness to make this good Julius seem to be an ambitious man. I speak not to disprove what Brutus spoke, but here I am to speak what I do know. He says that I am not here to tell what Brutus told is wrong. I am here to tell what I know about my friend. I am just speaking about my friend. I am not here to tell anything wrong about Brutus. You all did love him once, not without cause. What cause withholds you then to mourn for him? So he says, now look, my friend is dead. He is not going to come back. Once you all loved him because he paid the ransom for the captives, because he wept with the poor people, because he was such a humble man who did not even take the crown as a gift. So he was one among you. You all loved him so much. Yeah, today he is dead. What is withholding you from not mourning for him? Why don't you mourn for him for a while? Anyhow, my friend is not going to come back. Just your mourning will give peace to his soul. It will allow his soul to rest in peace. For, O judgment, thou art fled to brutish beasts, and men have lost their reason. O judgment, or O the judgment, the supreme judgment, now you have led the people, led the injustice to take over. But finally the justice will be winning. And he says the people have lost their reason. People have forgotten everything. They have stopped thinking logically. Bear with me. My heart is in the coffin, there with the Caesar. Coffin. Coffin means the box in which the dead body is kept. That is called the coffin. He says, bear with me. I am a bit, you say, I am a bit very harsh. Maybe I am speaking the truth. Too much of truth is spoken by me. But It may be bitter, but you have to bear with me for a little while because I am speaking this out of sorrow. My heart is in the coffin. Coffin means the dead body. That is, my heart is with Julius Caesar. I loved him so much. There with Caesar, and I must pause till it comes back to me. My heart is in the coffin with Julius, and I have to wait till the moment that heart comes back to me. That means I have to wait till my sorrow or the grief goes over, and I get along with all these things and I come to the normalcy. Or we can say, when I go to Julius, that is when I die, I too go to the place where Julius has gone. That time we both would be on the sailing on the same boat. So he says, I must pause, I must wait till it comes back to me. So here we see a faithful friend, Antony, speaking for his friend Julius Caesar, and he is such a faithful friend that when the world is against his friend, he stands for his friend. He speaks of his goodness, and though he cannot get back his friend, he does not want his friend to die with a bad name. That is how he reminds the people about the goodness of his friend. This is what a true friend is. Hope this session was useful to you all, and if you have any doubts regarding any of these lines of any of the words, do tell me in the comment section. I would be very glad to clarify your doubts. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day ahead.